Hi, happy Sunday. Another week in Weight Watchers. Let's preface that with I am not a Weight Watchers coach. I am not an employee for Weight Watchers. I am not a spokesperson for Weight Watchers. I am just a member of Weight Watchers utilizing the Weight Watcher program. Excuse me. But anyway, so what is this week focusing on at Weight Watchers? It is the scale. Do we build confidence before stepping on the scale in our approach to the scale? Do we have a plan after we see the number on the scale? Do we have anxiety before approaching the scale? How often do we weigh in? Or how frequently? Frequently can just be once a week. Too frequently can be more than once in a day. And the only time I weigh in more than once a day is on my Weight Watcher day, because I typically weigh in first thing in the morning and then I weigh in on the Weight Watcher scale. So my approach to the scale is that. I'm not worried about the weigh-in at the scale. I pretty much know how my week went and I can see what happened before I even get to the Weight Watcher meeting. So, I'm pretty much prepared when I go. I'm sorry that I'm having an itchy nose, but that happens in life. But yeah, so I'm pretty much, my weigh-in at home is very consistent. First thing in the morning, in the buff, before I have water, coffee, or anything. I usually get up, do my morning thing in there, weigh in, and then I go make my coffee. So basically that's it. So if you do have meetings, you know the experience of in-person meetings where you're going to go to the scale. So you go in and your guide is going to ask you, well, how did your week go? So your guide is already getting you in the mindset of thinking how your week went and how you respond. Are you having unhelpful thoughts when you're thinking there? Or are you having good thoughts? Because they might ask you, if you say, oh, it was a disaster, oh, this happened, oh my God, they might ask you, well, what went well? And then get you thinking of like things that you did right, like non-scale victories before you even get on the scale. And that kind of gets your guide, gives them information that they can have to guide you after we see the number on the scale. So, okay, you get on the scale. You had a loss. Great. Awesome. So what is your plan for this week to lead up to your next weigh-in? So they'll ask you those questions, and those questions are for a reason. It's to get you in the right mindset, to get you thinking, to get you reflecting and action planning and those kind of things. So basically you're going to reflect, get an action plan, and then execute. So that's basically how it goes. Now at my meeting, there are 3 scales, and I don't go in there thinking, oh, I got to step on that scale, because I have my consistent scale at home, so I don't worry about it. And I weigh in with my shoes on and everything. I do take off my Pixel watch because it is quite heavy, so we don't need to have the Pixel watch. And I used to not even take it to the meetings, but I kind of like to get my steps in because I go grocery shopping and stuff afterwards. So get those little extra steps in just for a little encouragement with that number. So I don't count that towards my Conqueror Challenge walks, though. I always do an intentional walk for that. So let's keep that in mind. So in the comments, you can put how frequently do you weigh in? Do you have a weigh-in anxiety, or are you just okay with whatever, like me? I'm kind of numb to it. I use it as a tool, is what I mean by that. Is it just a tool? Or is it a tool? It's a weight management tool. And how do you protect your progress after you see the number? What kind of action plan do you take? Do you set a goal? Do you want to concentrate on drinking more water? Because, sometimes if I have a big loss, I'm thinking in the back of my head, oh my gosh, am I dehydrated? Because I didn't think I did that well. But anyway, so there's other things going on, right? So how do you set up your action plan for doing at least one thing healthy for the week to set you up for a great result at the scale. Do you weigh in every day like me? Does it bother you? Here's how it helps me. I'm 65, so I have a slow metabolism, of course. I don't know what's going to get it going. I got to get me going. But I can see the ups and downs during the week, and maybe my weigh-in Wednesday is going to be one of those days where it's going to fluctuate on the top and not the bottom. So I use it as a measurement tool. And then, you can, if you're tracking all your food, even your 0-point food, you can go back into the tracker and you can see if you're having that sodium gain. You can look at your macros and see, did I eat way too many carbs? Because for me, sugar and salt does cause me inflammation. So I know I'm going to have some water weight. Not 10 pounds. That did happen to me when I was pregnant. I had, what was it? I forget what it's called. I had edema, toxemia, whatever it was, where I had you could see the water jiggling in my feet when I walked. You could actually see it was like, ooh, I couldn't wear shoes. But yeah, so nothing that extreme should be happening. If so, we should go see our doctor. Yes. But, a couple pounds, maybe up a little bit. Maybe you had a 0.5 gain when you feel like you should have had a loss. It could just be water. But, so you can look at your other tools and the measurements on those tools. The macros, how many points you ate, what kind of food did you eat, were you feeling stressed, did you get adequate sleep? Getting adequate sleep can affect your weight. The sodium can affect your weight. The types of food you eat can affect your weight. Hormones can affect your weight fluctuations. I mean, I'm past all that. I'm just slow metabolism. But, if you're still a young girl, you have those ups and downs during the month. If you're perimenopause, if you're going through menopause, that can just go, ooh, all over the place. So, yeah. So those are the kind of things that we can reflect on. What's going on in my life this week? That's why the coach was so excited that I lost 3.2 pounds last Wednesday. And I'm just like, you've never weighed me in. You don't know. The other guys know. She was my actual coach. So I'm usually running in there like right on time. And she's already up there starting the meeting practically when I get in line. So I weighed in on a different scale. So maybe that's a good scale to weigh on. I don't know. I told her, I go, no, I'm playing catch up for the last 6 months of disaster because I know what went on the last 6 months. I know why I gained a lot of my weight back. I didn't gain all of it back. So that's a non-scale victory. Got to have those non-scale victories. So if things that you see on the scale aren't making you so excited, think of those non-scale victories, right? Because sometimes, it's just a number, but maybe our pants feel looser that day. Maybe, I went into a new size this week. I feel energized because I've been getting in a lot of activity and building muscle. A lot of things. So think about those non-scale victories. Now, if you don't have in-person meetings where you have that guides to kind of guide you through this stuff, we do have on the app, if you hit the little person in the left corner, we have you scroll down to where it says Discover Content. Okay, there's a whole square that says Discover, find a workshop, recipes, restaurants, 0-point foods, what's in your fridge, audio coaching, and then you click on Discover Content. And it's going to come, you're going to see where it says Our Best Mindset and Behavior Change Strategies. Just click on that. It's the technique library. So if you don't have meetings and you just have the app, you can click there. And this is pretty small for me. It says what we can help with. If you click on handling setbacks, I can't read any of this. Just in the handling setbacks part, it has how to deal with a setback without blaming yourself, getting good thoughts if you had a weight gain. 3 steps to overcome a setback. So it gives you those steps. A new way to respond to setbacks. Just because you gained 5 pounds doesn't mean you got to go out on a binge thinking it's not working. You know, for me, I know I'm not working the plan perfectly, so I know what's going on. And so how to stay inspired no matter what the scale says. And how do I handle a small weight gain? How do I get past a weight plateau? How to take charge of unhelpful thoughts? How to flip the script on self-doubt? How to be kinder to yourself? How to respond to unhelpful thoughts? An easy way to re-energize your journey, like getting right back on track. Stress, take 5 and try this. So this kind of has different things that can kind of help you with your weigh-in. So maybe how to stay inspired no matter what the scale says. It's gonna remind you of the non-scale victories. Try this. Write down 3 things that have changed in the past month. Not the number on the scale. So we're not focusing on the scale. Struggling to come up with 3, ask yourself, how would I measure progress if the scale didn't exist? Consider healthy habits like starting a wake and walk routine. Yes moments, maybe noticing you aren't so wiped after work. Changes to your health, like are you feeling better? I know just changing my diet improved my cholesterol just from my blood tests. New to you experiences, trying a strength training class or learning to cook, both count. So what kind of healthy routine did you start? I mean, maybe the scale didn't show it, but maybe you started and these are going to improve things on the scale. And then you can dive a little deeper and it tells you what you can do. And like reflecting on your why and recognize the impact of each one. Maybe cooking more means you enjoy healthier, fresher meals, or your walking routine helps you stress less. I mean, zoom out to see the big picture. How do you feel reflecting on and celebrating these types of wins? How is it different from when you focus only on the scale? So the scale isn't the only place you can have a win, right? So how do you handle the scale? Put it in the comments, and let's have a happy weigh-in no matter what the scale says, right? Just stick to the plan. That's what I got to do. So here's what I'm doing. For me, January, we're nearing the end of January. January has been junk food January for me because I haven't gotten rid of my junk food. So junk food January is meaning I am not having the best results at the scale. Could I have done better? Yes. Am I going to beat myself up over it? No. What's my action plan? Fabulous February. Food and fitness. The 4 F's. Fabulous February, food and fitness. So that's what I'm going to have an action plan just to make next month a better month. And let's see how that goes. Anyway, thanks for watching, and thank you to my 21 subscribers. Yay! It's a new channel, so we're doing great. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.